and welcome to Marinsky March 2023, where every day in March we make a sausage recipe out of one of Adam and Stanley Marinsky's books. Last year we did home production of quality meats and sausage, which I think is one of the best sausage books out there still. It gives you the how and why behind what you're doing in sausage making. But this year we're doing recipes out of the new book, 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes, which is a gift to us sausage makers and meat enthusiasts. Adam and Stan have traveled across Europe and North America for the last 20 years compiling recipes, and they put it all into this jumbo book. What's even better is Stanley has sent me 5 copies to give away to you guys over the course of the month, and all you got to do to get qualified is leave a comment in the videos, and I'll find you and I'll send you a copy if you're one of the lucky winners. So, without any further ado, let's get into 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky.
Hello and welcome to Marinsky March, where today we're making a sausage I'm sure you'll like. I think I'm going to like it quite a bit. It is called, from 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky, the Kochsalami. It's from the USA, page 204. Whoops. Kochsalami is a smoked, cooked in water sausage that is stuffed into large diameter casings. So it's going to be a fully cooked and smoked product, not like a traditional salami. The meat and fat are finely ground. By tradition, or by description, a traditional salami is a fermented and dried or slightly fermented and dried sausage. However, Kochsalami does not meet this criteria. They, nevertheless, are classified as such. These sausages may look like salami, but they exhibit very little of the cheesy flavor, so typical of a traditional salami. Kochsalami can be smoked or not. Different proportions of pork and beef and different selections of spices are to be expected, as the sausage is produced in many regions of Germany. I thought it was an American sausage. It says USA at the top. This also results in different names. Praser, Heidelschmeyer, Bayershire, Tyroler, Göttinger, Kochsalamis. Countries such as Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic, or USA, produce their own versions of Kochsalami as well. Kochsalami is listed as 2.223.1 in the German government publication guides to meats and meat products. So, there we go. I'm sure this one's going to be good. It's a 30% beef, 70% pork mix. I really like sausages that have a mix of pork and beef and are smoked. They tend to be some of my personal favorites. It has some nice spices in it too. Salt, we're going to cure it because we're going to smoke this one. We are going to finish it in water. So it's got salt, cured, black pepper, whole peppers, coriander, paprika, and diced up garlic. So, first step is we're going to grind the lean meats, which just came out of the freezer. I got some top sirloin over here and some pork shoulder over here, which isn't really lean pork, but I trimmed it up a little bit. So we're going to grind that through a 1/8 millimeter. Frick, how many times have I done that this season? A 1/8 inch 3 millimeter plate. And then I'm going to grind the fat, which is still in the freezer, through. And set it aside, maybe back in the freezer, because we want those little particles of fat to really pop. I'm not going to mix the fat with the lean, because that will smear it, and that will wreck the visual of our beautiful Kochsalami that's made all over the world. Here we go. When the meat's nice and frozen like this, it goes through this little 3 millimeter 1/8 plate pretty good. If you're having difficulties, this is a 3/4 horse meat grinder. If you're having difficulties, start with a larger plate, pop the meat back in the freezer, and then grind again. All of our meat is out. Now I'm gonna mix the spices into this lean meat before I grind the fat. I'm gonna grind that fat in right at the very last step. So I grab my spices. Look at that mix. Doesn't that look pretty yummy? Nice garlic, clove, peppercorns, coriander, little paprika. Yum. Chop this garlic up real quick, nice and fine. Okay, into the sausage our garlic goes. Using lots of fresh sausage or garlic this season. let's add in our peppercorn, spices, and cure. All those goodies make it taste so good. Now when the meat is nice and lean and trimmed up like this, it does not take very long to get yourself some protein extraction. But like I said, and like I did earlier this season with the Dur Run Day, I smeared the fat. So you want to make sure you're not doing that. Lessons learned in Marinsky March. If you want particles of fat, add them frozen at the very end and mix lightly. And it's time to do that. See? Good and sticky. Some pure white back fat, or as you guys have called me out in the comments, fat back. I think that's how you guys say it in America. Put some fat back from the back in the sausage. Ooh, pre-froze. Okay. Okay. Still quite froze. So we're just gonna give that, kind of break it up a little bit. Still kind of wants to smear. Just give it a real quick mix into the salami. Time to get our sausage stuffer ready. We're gonna put these into 80mm fibrous casings. So I really should have made about 3 kilograms of this stuff to fill one of those, but. Okay, we got our cool patterned fibrous casing that I was soaking in water before I got this video started. It's not gonna fill this whole thing up, not by far. This thing could probably hold, I think it's 3 kgs is what these ones hold, or 2.5 at the very least. And these ones are easy peasy. You just squeeze really tight around the end of the horn and get it good and full. It's just gonna be a little sausage. There it is. That's all that it filled up. We'll get the rest out of the horn and the bottom of the sausage stuffer. That should top it up. Make it look like a real sausage. Should have done a bigger batch. It's gonna be a tasty one too. I'm gonna try and massage the air pockets out, because you're gonna have air pockets when you feed it in like that. And then using the very tip of a very sharp knife, if you see any big air pockets, just give it a gentle little poke and poke them out of there. That looks pretty good. And we'll just tie this guy off here and hang him up to dry for an hour before he gets smoked. Okay, the Kochsalami is now dried off. It's good and tacky on the outside, so it's ready to go into that smoker. All right, this is the first smoke for the smoker on sausages, so we're gonna pop these guys in here. I am eventually gonna get some sticks made up so that I can hang them and allow the air to circulate around them perfectly, but we'll just pop them in for their 1 hour smoking session. The Brunswick rolls awesome smoke. There we go. We'll take them out in 1 hour and get them into a pot of water. All right. The Kochsalami has been smoking for an hour as requested by the recipe. So let's pop it into the water. Here is the Kochsalami ready to be poached. Keep a very close eye on it. Okay, with the help of Red Roy, we know the Kochsalami and the Kawase are both finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab them out of here, hopefully without spilling. But if I do spill, I'll keep it in for your entertainment. All right, out comes the Kochsalami. Looks beautiful. They look a bit opaque, but I'm gonna hang them back up and dry them out after, so hopefully that little bit of smoke tone they acquired comes back. Voila! Here is our Kochsalami. The next day after it's come out of the cooler, you can see it got a little bit wrinkly, and that's probably because I had to probe it once while it was poaching away in that water, and as that water heated it up, the water's actually pretty warm. It was about 175-ish, I guess. Some of the fat was rendered out, so it's not quite as plump as I'd like it. But you always kind of got to sacrifice one out of a batch to get the internal temperature reading. Now let's get you a cross section. Okay, the Kochsalami, it could be up there on favorite cooked smoked sausages of the month. Next, I haven't tried the Kawase yet though, but that one could also be good. Ooh, there we go. Look at that, that looks yummy. You wanna see? All right, there you go. That looks pretty good. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. can kind of tell some of the fat got a little warm and like rendered and pooled. I don't really get that when I finish them in my smokehouse as much. I get more particles. But those peppercorns pop out of there and look really good. So other than that little bit of fat pooling would be my only critique. Now this one, but looks pretty good. Let's see how it tastes. Pull us off a slice of this cooked salami, which is different than air-dried traditional salami. A couple peppercorns in there. Smells very garlicky. Now I can't remember if this one's half pork, half beef or not. Let me check. All right, it's a third beef, so it should be a nice mix. All right, it's a third beef, so it should be a nice mix. Let's have a bite. Smells great. Very dense texture, which is nice. Yeah, that would be like, kind of like your deli meat style salami sandwich meat is what it kind of reminds me of. A very dense texture. You can kind of get some creaminess from the fat that's in there, which keeps it moist. The peppercorns are nice. You hit those, it's like a whole big flavor explosion. And the rest of the spices are pretty subtle. The coriander and garlic and stuff all work together really well. So I think if you were making this one at home, you'd be a happy camper with the end product. You could finish it in the smokehouse if you can get your smokehouse humid enough. And yeah, overall that's a nice sandwich meat style salami. I would recommend this one as one of your first attempts at salami. So, I'll have another bite. That's how good it is. Yeah, that one gets 2 thumbs up. That's easy and it tastes yummy. Oh, there's a peppercorn. I hope you guys liked it. There's that peppercorn again. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Maybe have an attempt at making this one. If you got the book, 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're enjoying Marinsky March.